Hold up. Not Lil Mama calling Nicki Minaj a prostitute and accusing her of exploiting her body to get to the top.
She's going around saying that Nicki Minaj kind of copied her after going on the show where she works on.
Chill, y'all might want to get a chair for this mess right here, cause Lil Mama just sent the internet on fire after she came for Nicki Minaj unprovoked by calling her a prostitute. Now, this ain't the first time that Lil Mama has spoken down on Nicki, but this time she took it a little too far, and people are dragging her through the pits of hell for it. She's steady been speaking on Nicki since 2011, but despite Nicki continuously ignoring her clout-chasing antics, she still has her name in her mouth, and this time it looks like she's bitten more than she can chew. A lot of people already knew that Lil Mama didn't like Nicki, but for her to go out of her way to accuse her of being a prostitute is a whole different level of hatred that nobody expected her to have for Nicki. This mess started just a few days ago when Lil Mama randomly decided to leave a very nasty comment about Nicki on a post about the female rappers who performed at the BET Awards and how they were all just showing off their bodies in BBLs. Now, mind you, Nicki didn't even attend the show. However, she was the only female rapper who won an award that night out of her 6 nominations, and she won for Best Female Hip-Hop Artist. Now, for whatever reason, that triggered the hell out of Lil Mama, and she left a comment that insinuated that the only reason Nicki got that award was because she led this new pack of female rappers into having overly explicit music like they all make now. She said, then gave Nicki an award for leading this pack. Corporate bars be going over our heads. They laughing at us for sure. Someone then responded to her and said, Lil Mama, I'ma say Lil Kim led first, Nicki Minaj came after, to which Lil Mama responded again, blatantly accusing Nicki of being a musical prostitute, and even insinuating that she's an industry plant that the corporations in charge just put in the industry to become what other female rappers should act like if they want to make it. Keyword, this pack. These young women are not influenced by Kim. Nicki is influenced by Kim. These women are 23. What major musical prostitute do you remember from the last 15 years? Who do you think they watched corporate give a platform and flowers for out? Be for real. Like I said, they laughing at us. And the award was a thanks to you. Now we have 7, 8, 9 of them. Someone decided to check her by telling her that she wouldn't be saying none of this if she was also invited to perform. She responded to that by saying if she was asked to perform, she would go on that stage to perform, not sell her private parts. The person said, Lil Mama, if you was invited to the BET Awards to perform, you would've went. To which Lil Mama replied, and that's your response to what conversation again? Are you saying that I would've been performing and selling too, or just performing? Child, Lil Mama has lost it, y'all. This whole back and forth was extremely unprovoked and uncalled for. A lot of people felt like she was just bitter and jealous about the fact that all these other female rappers, especially Nicki, are way more commercially successful than her. One person said, one minute, Nicki didn't open doors for these women. Next minute, she's responsible for these explicit content. Ida Frank, voice of the young struggle face. Another person said, hating from outside the club when you can't even get in is diabolical. But like I said before, this ain't the first time that Lil Mama has thrown some unprovoked shade at Nicki. Funny enough, the first time she spoke about Nicki, she accused her of copying her style. But now she claims Nicki is a musical prostitute. So does that mean Nicki copied the musical prostitute from her? Like, baby, you cannot make this up. Now, back in 2011, she claimed Nicki apparently stole her bob hairstyle after Nicki saw her perform on America's Best Dance Crew. She said, Nicki Minaj started wearing that bob on her head after she came to my show. She was a guest on America's Best Dance Crew, and immediately afterwards, everywhere she went, she was wearing the haircut the same exact way. At the end of the day, I know what I do, and I know what I possess, and I know who I am. I'm a trendsetter. The biggest form of flattery is imitation, so I'm flattered. I started so many things that the new artists are doing now anyway. There are so many things that were borrowed that I influenced. That's happening in music right now, so I'm far from discouraged. A lot of people basically bashed her at the time for saying this because it really sounded like she was just salty about all of the success that Nicki was getting at the time. It was everything she thought she was gonna get, but she messed it up for herself when she jumped on on that stage to perform with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Very unprovoked and very uninvited.
It's not copying her style simply because when Nicki Minaj is on stage, she's invited to be there.
Oh, you're too old to be called Lil Mama.
How old is she?
37.
Well, she's old enough to know who
She's like little grandmama now. Like, get over
She's 37.
I don't know. She's menopausal at least.
Anyway, this was just the start of a very long streak of copycat allegations from Lil Mama. Because fast forward to 2016, she was back at it again. And this time, she jumped on IG to accuse Nicki of stealing from Lil Kim after Nicki released a freestyle a few days prior called Pink Print Freestyle, in which she said she was the one who influenced people to start wearing pink wigs when she rapped, like, I ain't make these bees rock pink hair at some point. For some reason, this got Lil Mama all up in her feelings, so she decided to post a throwback photo of Lil Kim wearing a pink wig with the caption, like Lil Kim ain't make bees wanna rock pink hair at some point. Like, at Misa Hilton, what's that ish you say? Respect the architect, B. She followed it up with another IG post of herself wearing pink wigs on 3 different occasions. She said in the caption, point is, don't ever play yourself. Don't say nothing about me or anything that comes remotely close. So now not only was she insinuating Nicki was copying the pink wigs from Kim, she was also saying that Nicki stole it from her as well.
I understand everybody thinks that they're great. Let's be realistic. You are a footnote in musical history. You're a footnote. Who is imitating you? Who cares? And who even saw it the first time? The past 5 minutes, we've just talked about a non-factor. You wasted my life.
Just reading it makes me sick. Lil Mama on how Nicki Minaj copied her style. What style?
But baby, it don't stop there. Because just a few days after this, she sat down for an interview with Mara at the Hip Hop Socialite. And she did not hold back from throwing shade at Nicki once again. Now, interestingly enough, she also threw shade at Lil Kim. Yeah, the same woman she was just praising weeks prior to this interview. This right here is some real diabolical behavior, y'all. She actually said something similar to her comments about Nicki being a music prostitute and wrongly influencing these female rappers. She said Nicki and Kim were not real women and that negatively impacted young girls. I feel like these women, Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, who else, many of them, they are all 6 to 10 to 20 years my senior. I have so much time and space to grow that even if somebody else is ignorant, let them be. Because once you pass 28 to 30, you begin to set in your ways. I can't teach older women how to be women. I can only teach the younger generation how to be women. I feel like if that's a responsibility I want to take on, I need to focus on making music that reflects that. I need to focus on actions that reflect that. Because when you get out there in the yard and you just want to fight for something physically, you don't look any better than the person who's already been doing that and not making a great example for other people or putting another woman down. So as y'all can see, Lil Mama is a raging Nicki hater, and never once has she said anything nice about Nicki Minaj, even though Nicki ain't never did anything to her. Nicki clearly doesn't find Lil Mama as somebody relevant enough to even give energy to, but Lil Mama, on the other hand, has had her name in her mouth for over 13 years now. The way obsession is undeniable at this point. One person reacted to this by saying, let's just all remember Pink Friday. Nicki's debut album contained no songs about and please let's discuss the styling of the era and how her introduction to hip-hop emphasized she didn't need to sell. Another person said, when Nicki goes on random rants, this is what she's addressing: the unsolicited attacks. She doesn't address most of the time when it happens. It gives the other person a spotlight. Trust, her rants are never unprovoked. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Lil Mama calling Nicki a prostitute? And do y'all think Nicki is really to blame for the overly explicit content from female rappers now? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.